I'm Leslie Sabraco, and for the past 15 years, I've been the host of an Emmy Award-winning restaurant show and a national travel and food show, both on PBS. Over the years, I've indulged in my fair share of delicious dairy dishes, and I'm excited for today's treats. Welcome to the cook-off finals of the inaugural 2021 California Dairy2Go competition, brought to you by the California Milk Advisory Board. Now, we're here at the Culinary Institute of America's Copia facility in Napa, California. It is the ideal location to show off the latest innovations in restaurant carry-out meals. The California Dairy2Go competition was inspired by chefs and food service operators who made quick and creative pivots to adjust menus for the takeout and delivery model during the pandemic. Now, with a spotlight on to-go meals, the California Milk Advisory Board invited 12 chefs from across the country to submit recipes in 3 categories, focusing on the most creative use of California cheese and dairy in off-premise dishes. Our esteemed panel of judges, who you will meet, selected the top 2 entries in each category, and these 6 chefs are competing on our live broadcast in head-to-head cook-offs. At stake is over $20,000 in prize money, and of course, the prestige of winning our inaugural competition. The 3 champions will be awarded $5,000 each, and each runner-up will get $1,500. Today, we're broadcasting 3 separate cook-offs covering our culinary categories, which include Cheese and Mac, Cal-Mex, and Innovate2Go. As I mentioned, we're coming to you live from the fabulous Heston Kitchens here at the CIA Copia facility. We just completed our cook-off with the Cheese and Mac chefs, and now we're going to show the Cal-Mex competition. Our 2 chefs have begun preparing their dishes, and we'll visit them soon. And after making their meal, they'll place them in carry-out containers and present them to the judges for their evaluation. We'll then get to announce the winner and award the chefs their prize money. So before we meet our 2 chef contestants in the Cal-Mex cook-off, I'd like to introduce you to the Vice President of Business Development for the California Milk Advisory Board, Bob Carroll. Hi, Bob.
Hi, Leslie.
Let me move over here so you have a little room.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. The Cheese and Mac one was great, wasn't it?
It was fantastic.
The delicious dishes in that one, too. So now we get a chance to do Cal-Mex, which is going to be a big and growing category. So first, I'd like to talk to you about the mission of the CMAB.
So it's a very simple mission, and that's to increase demand for all dairy products that use real California milk.
Right. And in terms of how, CMAB supports the dairy farmers, talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so first of all, we're funded by dairy farmers. So we work for the dairy farmers, and by increasing demand for the milk, it allows the industry to continue to thrive and helps our dairy farmers have good returns on the farm.
Absolutely, and food service is so important to you. That's really our focus today, is sort of food service and how these dishes have been, in response to the pandemic, how restaurants have pivoted. Talk a little bit about the food service angle.
Sure, it's super important to the dairy industry here in California. About a third of our volume is used in food service of all the dairy products, and it's a source of innovation. It's where a lot of food trends start. It's a place that we want to make sure as these trends are taking place and seeding into the marketplace, that dairy is right there as well.
And that really is what gave birth to this new competition, isn't it? The to-go competition is the response that everybody's had to the pandemic and dealing with it and moving forward.
Absolutely, and it's one of those trends that we see staying.
It's not going away.
No, it's gonna continue.
Well, we're about ready to just jump off into the Cal-Mex category, and our chefs are blending their interpretation of the culinary and flavor fusion of California and Mexican cuisines, featuring Hispanic-style cheeses from California. Our 2 finalists in the Cal-Mex category are Mary Grace Viado from Birmingham, Alabama, and Gina Galvin of San Juan Capistrano here in California. So I'm going to go meet them. I'm going to take a microphone so we can go talk to them, and we'll be ready to go. All right, chefs, are you ready? Yes. Is everybody ready? All right. Hello, Mary Grace. How are you, Chef?
I'm good. I'm fabulous.
Fantastic. So, Mary Grace, talk a little bit about your background and how you got into being a chef.
Ma'am, am. I'm actually from Birmingham, Alabama, originally from the Philippines. I came here to go to this Culinary Institute of America, and I've worked with several restaurants in New York, and then I'm now the corporate executive chef of Village Tavern in Birmingham, and we have 8 locations throughout the United States.
8 locations,
Yes,
fantastic.
Yes.
And what inspired your dish here in the Cal-Mex category?
Well, when I think about Cal-Mex, it's about in California, of course, using the dairy products of California. We have the panela, try to transform it differently. I blackened it with taco seasoning, and also the cotija as a flavoring as well. There's no salt and pepper here. I just let the flavors of the adobo and the blackened the taco seasoning.
And the cotija has that little salty tang.
Exactly. So that's my inspiration. And of course, seafood.
All right, well, we'll let you get back to cooking, and we're looking so forward to trying your dish. Thank you, Chef Mary Grace. All right, Gina, hello, Gina, how are you? Chef Gina Galvin in San Juan Capistrano, California. And talk a little bit about how you got into being a chef.
Well, I grew up in a food family. My grandfather was a panadero in Mexico, and that we just have always been very passionate about food. I went to UCLA thinking I was going to be a doctor, and then ended up in this industry.
A little bit of a difference
there. So I'm a food technologist and a research chef. So what I do for a living is develop products for menus and also retail shelves.
And you launched a food truck, I saw.
We did. It was a celebrity food truck on Food Network and Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, and it was a lot of fun. We actually put it down to put more emphasis on our consulting and development.
Fantastic. So talk a little bit about your inspiration for your dish. I see you cooking, and it smells delicious in here, let me just say. And the cheeses that you're using.
So this is a skirt steak that we are cooking with adobo
I'm going to give you the
butter.
microphone so we can hear you.
Adobo
I know you have
butter.
to cook. I'll let you cook and hold the mic.
And then we are using panela cheese that we marinated in adobo and a little bit of olive oil, and we're going to griddle the panela cheese so it gives it a slightly melted texture, but almost like a pulp, which is really yummy. And it's the star of the dish. We're serving this on top of lobster and a little bit of steak, but this is the star.
That's fantastic. I find it very interesting that both chefs have chosen to go the seafood route with the Cal-Mex innovation and category, yeah?
And then we also are doing cotija on fries.
Oh, cotija on fries,
with
nice.
Cilantro.
Okay.
So that's an easy way to add zest to French fries with California cheese.
There you go, beautiful. Well, we'll let you get cooking. I know we've got a lot to do, but the chefs have a lot to do. So I'm gonna head over and we're gonna meet the judges who will be getting to indulge in these delicious dishes. All right, judges, are you ready to go?
Yes, we are.
Woohoo! You've been over here smelling what's cooking and what's going on, huh?
I know you're making me salivate. We're ready
I'll
for
tell you,
more.
there's some interesting dishes coming from that kitchen. They're interesting dishes. So let me introduce our judges. We have Barbara Alexander, who is a certified executive chef and certified culinary educator from the American Culinary Association. And you work here as an instructor, don't you, Barbara?
Yes, I do. I actually am a consultant with the Culinary Institute, and I work here out of Copia in the Heston kitchen. And it's a great place to work, and we're pretty excited about today.
Yeah,
it's really fun. We're ready for more.
Ready for more because we had the the cheese and mac.
Cheese and mac,
That's
which
right.
was delish.
Right.
And now we're gearing for some more.
All right. And do you have a thought about this Cal-Mex category?
Well, I mean, I'm from California, so Cal-Mex is our sort of our go-to flavor profile. So I'm excited to see what they come up with. I think it's going to be really fun. I think we're going to see some innovative ideas.
All right, I'm going to have you hand that microphone to our next judge, Neil Doherty. He is the corporate executive chef and senior director of culinary development for Cisco Corporation. And talk a little bit about your background, Neil.
So I'm Irish, obviously with an accent like this. I've been in America since 1983. I did my culinary education in Ireland. I traveled Ireland and the UK before getting here. And I've worked in New York, Massachusetts, and Texas. As I was a regional with Hilton Hotels. Now I'm with Cisco for the last 21 years. 13 years in operations and 8 at the corporate level. So I've got a wonderful job. It gets me to work with lots of different people all over the country, just like California Milk Advisory Board, which we're big partners with. So I'm just excited to be here. I mean, this is like a little mini vacation.
It is a little fun. It's a fun day for the judges as well to get to taste some of these things because, and I'll come back and ask you a little bit more about trends, but this to-go category is not going away.
Oh,
right?
no.
So this is really important that we're showcasing these
It's an
dishes.
additional revenue stream for every restaurant that didn't do it prior to COVID.
Right.
Now, after even with COVID, you know, hopefully coming down a little bit, it's still going to be in a revenue stream, just like alcohol to go. I think now that we know there's other areas to make money, we're going to keep on it.
That's right. All right, and I'm going to introduce our final judge, a friend of mine, Dusky Estes, who is well, you've got a very long bio. I can't get into all of your bio. Television personality, chef, co-owner of Black Pig Meat Company, fantastic bacon. Let me just say everything's better with bacon. And McBride Farm. So Dusky, tell me a little bit about your background.
So I'm Dusky, and I'm a chef, farmer, and rancher. And we raise pigs in the backyard. My other title sometimes is Queen of Pork. I actually competed.
You have been the Queen of Pork. I know that. I was there when you were crowned.
It's true. I have a crown. And my husband also does. He's the king. So we have a lot of fun together in our backyard with our pigs. We say a great life and only one bad day. And that's what we could all hope for.
That's right.
And
That's right.
and today is too Gouda to be true.
I thought you were going to do our mood joke again, right?
I don't know. I'm just going to come up with a new
We're
one
all
every
in a
time.
happy mood today. Okay, so let me ask you guys before we get started, because I see they're plating dishes back there and getting ready to serve them to you. Now, Dusky, what do you think the central role of dairy is in not only the dishes today, but in anything you cook?
Well, I'm a big advocate of knowing the face that feeds you. And I like my money to go to a family that I know. And so we want to keep the diversity of agriculture happening in California. And we do that by supporting our local makers, our local ranchers, our local cheese makers. So this day is what I'm all about. There's lots of families that we're directly supporting and keeping in California.
Exactly. So. And those dishes with cheese have all that yummy fat. And
they just make everything taste better. The only thing that it needs is a little bit of bacon on top. A little bit of bias.
All right, and Neil, we have talked about this, focus on to-go. What are you looking for today in these to-go dishes?
Well, number one, we're going to be looking for portability, and then we're also going to be looking for the fact that will it hold up for a 20-minute to a 45-minute span from leaving the kitchen to getting to your home. So that's very, very important. And as we know, it's all about consistency of the sauce, etc., or how it's wrapped or how it's presented, because you want that food to look just as good when it leaves the restaurant as it gets to my back door, or else we've failed. So that's a really big thing about it, because we're expecting it, because we're spending our money.
And it's really important when you say that, you don't realize 25 to 45 minutes, right? And even longer sometimes. And so you want something that's appealing, you want something that's still, you want to dig in and be delicious. And that can be hard on the end of the chef.
Yeah, it's all about strategy. It's all about understanding the food that you're working with. And more importantly is testing. You need to test it in your own environment first. If it's successful when you test it in the environment, then it should be successful getting to the back door. But if you haven't tested it and you're hoping, that could be a major fault.
Right. Well, we had two dishes in the cheese and mac category that all of you agreed would go on menus if you would serve them. So those held up very well. So it'll be interesting to see today's Cal-Mex.
Those two dishes were absolutely spectacular. Yeah. And as you said, they were very portable. And I think that the consistency, both chefs were able to give the correct consistency of sauce. And I think both the judges agreed that pasta has a tendency of soaking up the moisture, so we thought they did a fantastic job.
They did a great job. All right, well, we've got some plating happening over here, I think. How are we? We're good? About another minute. So, Barbara, I'm going to ask you a little bit more, more in terms of the central role of dairy again in these dishes that we're talking about today, because...
Yes. Well, I think one of the things that we found in the last set of dishes is this beautiful balance between the various cheeses they were using. So what we're looking for as judges is we want to see all the way across the whole lineup of California cheeses what accentuates the dish. So we really found a beautiful balance when they were using 2, 3 different cheeses, and not one of them was just sort of standing out above the rest.
Right.
So that's the job of the chef, to use careful execution on the actual flavors that they're using and balance those dishes. And just to add to Neil's point, and I think it's very important, that they think the whole thing through, the strategy. And what I loved about the dishes that we had before was that they gave the right sized container for the right amount of food, because we know that you put the lid on that container and it goes to somebody's house, and the next thing you know, it's been sliding around in there. Well, those dishes were perfectly exexecuted and then put in the perfect size container.
And it's a real key ingredient of what we'll be judging today.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So that to go, whether it's portable, is essential here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, chefs, how are we doing? We're ready for our presentation? Looking good. All right, things are coming fast and furious here. And I've got Mary Grace, who is, Chef Mary Grace has everything ready to go. There we go. The anticipation, we can feel it. We can smell it. All right. This is Chef Mary Grace.
I have a Mexicali shrimp scampi with homemade arepas.
Here, hang on, Mary Grace. I'm going to have you do that again because we want to hear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the African chefs, what I made is a Mexicali shrimp scam with homemade arepas. My thought process on this one is like, we have, during the pandemic, a lot of people ate, burgers, sandwiches, pizzas. I want to create something different that's elevated, but also can be reheated as well, even though it's shrimp. And that's why I made some instructions in there. And then, of course, the arepa is made with California milk, and it has 2 cheeses, the blackened panela cheese, as well as the cotija cheese for saltiness. And when you get home, basically, you just take it out. And of course,
I can help you.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, Chef.
Oh, and you have a nice label here.
Yes. And you can top it off with of course, the arugula will be packed separately because it's gonna wilt if you put it, in it. And then if they want more they want to garnish with cotija cheese, then that's it.
Do you come with the takeout?
Yes, I could come with a takeout anytime.
But I think there is a little explanation there, right?
Yes, ma'am.
A little explanation of how to serve it.
And
which
I've
is
tested
fantastic.
it with my husband many times on how to, microwave. You just microwave it at home.
There's a whole
Yes, ma'am. Both the arepa, both
Exactly.
the arepa and both the dip, pretty much.
wonderful.
Fantastic. Well,
She
we're
put
gonna-
amazing
thank you.
instructions on the top lid of that, so that,
On here too.
yes.
Right, and that's really important, I think, when you have multiple ingredients, isn't
Correct.
it? To be able to do that. All right, and Chef Gina. All right, Chef Gina.
So we have, microphone.
Here we go. I'm going to give you this.
Okay.
I'm presenting a surf and turf torta with marinated panela cheese that's grilled, and also cotija cheese that's put on French fries. It's got skirt steak in adobo butter and lobster in adobo butter. And there's chorizo beans on the bottom, like a traditional torta. And this was inspired by, I grew up in Huntington Beach. It's a surf city, and Cal-Mex has really kind of started there throughout San Diego, and there's a lot of history and culture there. So this is that, a lot of proteins, French fries in there to make it Cal-Mex, and we just played up the traditional torta.
Fantastic. Nothing decadent about this dish at all.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You're welcome.
And you can see, I'll hold that to camera. I'll see if you guys can see, take a look at that sandwich. You guys are going to have to cut it. You'll have to
yes.
figure out how to get in there.
do that.
Dig in there. All right, and I'll pass that down.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chef. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to let the judges do their work. And while they start, I just would like to go over what we're looking at in terms of the judging criteria. It's really important to understand what the judges are looking for in order to pick a winner. So taste and flavor is certainly the most important. You've got to have a dish that is delicious to eat, right? That makes you come back again and again and order that to-go dish. The use of real California cheese and dairy. The more dairy, the better, we say. It's all good. It's all, that we want lots of wonderful ooey gooey cheeses in these dishes. A to-go rating, as Neil and Barbara were both discussing the importance of this to-go category moving forward in the entire restaurant industry. And so to-go, how would this dish be considered commercially viable for the to-go category? And also, is the dish portable? We looked at, how to serve it, and will it withstand that 25 to 45 minutes of travel to somebody's house? And then the appearance, okay? Does it look delicious? Is it appetizing? Is it presented well in the to-go container? These are the criteria that the judges are looking for. So I'm gonna let them get to work. And in the meantime, I'm gonna be joined by two members of CMAB, a board member, Kirsten Arias, as well as Jennifer Jambroni, Vice President of Communications for CMAB. And we're going to be giving a little consumer perspective, just a little taste of these dishes from our viewpoint while the judges work on their viewpoint. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
I think you need a microphone. Hang on. There we go. I can't be the only one talking here. So Jennifer and Kirsten, welcome.
Thank you so much.
So the Cal-Mex category, talk a little bit about this category from your perspective as, from the CMAB perspective.
Well, we're really excited about Cal-Mex because it really captures, our love of Mexican food for sure. And we have a tremendous heritage of it in California, not only with, our background as a state, but also in our cheesemakers. So we make more Hispanic style dairy products here in California than any other state. So of course we want to incorporate these into authentic dishes, but we have all of these chefs and these wonderful products. As an agriculture state, our chefs really have such a bounty of ingredients to choose from to create, and so they've really pulled that into these Mexican dishes that reflect both these wonderful flavors as well as all that freshness.
And I love that we have milk, because
of course, I mean, honestly,
when you got something a little bit spicy, the milk is the way to go to wash everything down. Good California milk. All right.
I like that. The food fire.
The food fire. So Kirsten, you're a dairy farmer
Yes, I
as
am.
well as a board member.
Yes, we milk about 350 cows in the Central Valley of California in a little town called Los Banos. It's not little anymore, but that's where we milk our cows 3 times a day.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And so in terms of Cal-Mex cheeses, what are you looking for in these dishes?
Gosh, I'm not picky.
If it's
all
California
good.
cheese, you'll eat it.
If I don't have to cook it,
Yeah.
I love it even more.
All right. Well, I'm going to have you two dig into these dishes. This is, of course, Chef Mary Grace's dish over there.
Over there.
And she has made, if I can go back to my card, she's made that wonderful Mexicali shrimp scampi. So you've got a variety of colors and flavors and textures.
And what's this on the side?
And that is the panela cheese. The panela cheese is in there.
That's an arepa that's made with real milk.
Oh wow.
Yes.
You have to have
So
some of
yeah, I mean, it's a
that.
marriage of so many flavors. I think that what's exciting about both of these dishes is they both use panela and cotija. So
Exactly.
2 of our most popular Hispanic style cheeses. The panela is
Talk
super
a little bit
fresh.
about each of those, right?
Yeah, I mean, panela is a great cheese because it's not super melty.
Mm-hmm.
So both of them have grilled it, and this is really awesome. Like she's blackened it as these little pieces.
Yeah,
you
and
should
you can
dig
see
in.
little pieces in there, whereas
sometimes I think we see the Hispanic cheeses and we don't know what to do with them. So that's why we provide a lot of recipes on our website, so you can see what to do with these wonderful cheeses, because they're not always in our recipe file.
Exactly.
Actually, we'll have Kirsten, if you don't mind saying that again.
Oh, okay.
We've got one mic that we're sharing.
And eating.
And eating and doing lots of things.
What
of
I
course,
said with
all live.
What I said without a microphone was that you go in the store and you see the Hispanic cheeses, and we have a wonderful variety. But myself, I didn't know what to do with them. They weren't in my recipe file at home, and so we do provide some recipes on our website, so anybody can make these wonderful, wonderful dishes as long as they have the recipe, because we have the great ingredients to go with them.
And then you're going to dig into, I'll get your impressions on this first dish, this wonderful shrimp scampi dish.
Okay, got it.
And then it's interesting, I said that both chefs have chosen to use seafood in these dishes to complement the Mexican cheeses, Cal-Mex cheeses. So this one is a surf and turf torta with some cotija covered French fries.
Wow.
Right? All right. So you guys tell me, what are you digging into first, Kirsten?
I'm digging into the shrimp one.
And give me
It's
your
wonderful.
impressions. Wonderful. Yeah.
Oh, she's got to get her milk there. You know, there's nothing like milk for putting out that food fire, just like you said.
It's very mild fire, but it's good with milk.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, in this torta, I mean, just basically kind of a Mexican sandwich. I mean, I love the fact that there, you know, you've got the surf and turf, so you've got a little bit of seafood.
Let's move
You
this so we
have
can see
this grilled panela that she covered in adobo sauce, which is just, I mean, amazing.
So it's
And
got
then-
texture and a little bit of pull, a little bit of chew to it.
And the freshness of the cheese, that's one of the things about the Hispanic style cheeses, is they bring a lot of like milkiness and freshness to the dishes. And that's really, you know, they added a lot of salt to dishes and things like that. So they're not super pungent in flavor, but they just have this wonderful, you know, flavor and texture that they add, as well as authenticity.
Right.
So like if you're really cooking dishes from Mexico, you know, you want to bring these authentic, and they're so easy to find. It's just like Kirsten was saying.
Well, I think
we
that's
don't
the question
understand
that
it.
people have. They walk by and they wouldn't know what to do with cotija.
Yeah.
They wouldn't know what to do with these cheeses.
Exactly. Well, and this is why we love chefs, right? Like we go to a restaurant and you see these amazing dishes and the creativity, because they understand the ingredients, and it really inspires you, you know.
Right.
I mean, and if you can't cook it, you know you can go buy it.
That's right. That's
And you
what
can-
this whole
and you-
competition
and you
is
can
about.
bring it home to go.
To go. Well, I think we have a winner. I'm getting a little notification that the judges have already done their work, and while you two enjoy the
I'm gonna
rest of
continue
these,
eating.
You continue eating, and I'm going to head back and talk to the judges about their choices. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy. All right, judges. Woohoo! Okay. Judges, you have done your job quickly and efficiently. I love that. That's fantastic. This is live television, right? This is live. So you are still licking your chops and using your napkins, I see. So we've got our wonderful chefs here. And I'd like to start off just getting a little bit of feedback from you in terms of the dishes. So maybe I'll start with you, Barbara.
Great. Hopefully I'm on. Great. Thank you both. It was great. Just a couple of things to always be really careful of is that this to-go concept. That where you're, you may have an idea in your head and the execution is great, and then when it gets into the box and comes to us, it can tend to look a little messy. So just my tip to you, Gina, would be to maybe wrap that sandwich in just a band of paper, just so that it kind of holds together a little better. And I would have loved to have seen a little more maybe play on the Cal-Mex fries, because Greek fries are so popular and all these fries. You could have done a little bit more playing up on that. But the taste was good and there. And your labeling was very good, very clever to put that on the thing for the to-go portability, and good flavors, yes. And I think that both of you could have even stretched out a little bit more on some more Cal cheeses.
Never have too many cheeses. You can never have too many cheeses.
So I was pleasantly surprised with the panella and the shrimp as the scampi dish. You really did a great job of pulling that all together. So I was pleasantly surprised. And I am a big fan of arepas. They're very on trend right now, and so it was great to see them being used as a side versus a carrier. So that was really cool. And I did appreciate the labeling, and I think that particular dish would be great to come through retail as well, because you had it all labeled out for easy home execution. So that was a really great plus. Gina, I really I love tortas, I love street food, so it was great getting a torta, and boy, that was fully loaded. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great tastes in there and great flavors, but I do totally agree with Chef that it really did need the sandwich to be wrapped, would have held it together, and once again, I'm going to agree, because the fries would have been, I love the fry idea. Like I said, Greek fries, I mean, all these different flavored fries that are out there now. So I think you've really got something great there, because everybody loves flavored fries. So honestly, I was pleasantly surprised. Panella doesn't usually have a large amount of flavor, but both of you were able to season it and bring it forward. So you did a great job with the Californian cheeses. Congratulations.
And talk a little bit about that texture of that cheese, because again, I don't know that people are necessarily familiar with either of these.
So
cheeses
it's kind of I call it a squeaky cheese because it squeaks on your teeth, right?
Yeah.
But it has this kind of it's kind of firm but not firm, and soft but not soft. So it's this in-between cheese that holds together, and you can grill it on a flat top and serve it, just like that. Which
serve it in a torta, in a sandwich,
which most places do. So it's very much like a Greek cheese almost.
Right.
So so I was really pleasantly surprised. But both chefs seasoned it really quite nicely, so they brought another layer of flavor along with it.
Fantastic. And Dusky, you're going to bring it home here and tell us what you think?
Well, I too was really thrilled with how you both executed your cheese in your dish. I thought it was innovative to sear the panella inside the torta, Gina, to get basically a huge plank in your sandwich that was seared on a flat top. That is a brilliant use to me of that cheese. And then for you to put it into a fast saute of something, like in little cubes where it just starts to get a little bit melty, but it still maintains its integrity as a bite. So I felt like you both used the panella very creatively within your execution. I also, Gina, loved the French fries in the torta. It reminded me of being a kid when I would load my sandwich with my potato chips. Oh, yeah. So you get all the parts of your meal all in one.
Did you add the French fries to the torta? Don't lie.
I didn't. She already did it.
I meant, did you put them inside the torta, inside the sandwich?
I would have, but she already did. She already loaded my sandwich with it, so I didn't even have to do the work. And I also appreciated your garnish, your presentation with the two flags was very precious. So I appreciated that. And Mary, for your presentation, I very much appreciated the different containers, keeping the crunchy things separate from the hot things, the crunchy fresh separate from the hot, so that it wouldn't wilt, and then we would have that textural difference when we put it all together. And I appreciate getting to do the work. I mean, it's sort of like when you get clams out of the shell, or you have to take it out of the shell, or I enjoy or crab the same way. I enjoy
again, that to-go concept of what is the appearance and how portable is it makes a huge difference, right?
So both of you, I think, did a great job today. Thank you, and I appreciated the acid in your dish, Mary. Like the seasoning of lime in there was perfect with the scampi.
All right, do we have a result? I think we have a result. And Kirsten is on her way in to tell us the winners of the winner. You're both winners of this competition, the Cal-Mex competition.
Consumers are winners here.
Here you go, my dear.
Thanks, Leslie. On behalf of the California Milk Advisory Board and the dairy families of California, congratulations to both of you for making such amazing, wonderful Cal-Mex category dishes in the first California Dairy2Go. Our chef competitors created interesting dishes that showed California's Hispanic-style dairy in an innovative way, and we can't tell you how important that is. People don't know how to use those cheeses if they walk into the store. You help them with that. Your recipes help them with that. So without further ado, for the Cal-Mex category winner, our $5,000 winner is, and congratulations to Gina Galvan. Oh, I'm sorry, I grabbed the wrong certificate. Does that ever happen on live television?
Yes, that has happened I believe that's happened at the Oscars.
Our Cal-Mex winner, I am so sorry, Mary Grace Viato.
Woo, you're both winners. Woo,
thank you.
Mary Grace.
Congratulations. And Gina, you are both winners. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. A round of applause, everybody, for our winners, our judges. I'm actually going to take you both back here and interview you, since you both are winners on this one. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. I just want to. We'll trade off the microphone, and you guys can sit down right here. How were you feeling? Was that fun?
It was very fun.
Was it fun? Here, I'll let you sit over there, and you can share the microphone. It was very fun to. I mean, it was speedy. It was fast, right? This is a cooking competition that. Why did you enter this competition? What was it about California Cheese2Go?
It challenged you to make different stuff, pretty much. Like it's like if you get a panela cheese, you taste it like it's like what Chef said, it was squeaky.
Squeaky cheese.
Yeah, squeezy cheese. What you're gonna do with it? You know what I mean? So it makes you really think and think of the other ways. It challenges you. So that's
Right.
why I love it.
Yeah, that was great. And you too, is that why you entered the competition?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's always innovation is kind of what we do.
She's the innovation queen.
Right.
So finding out how to take ingredients and bring something novel to it.
And these wonderful California cheeses, right?
Yeah.
These Cal-Mex
Yeah.
cheeses are
Yeah.
terrific.
Yeah, and I think panela is just one of those cheeses that people don't know what to do with it, but you can slice it like I did it for the sandwich. It's
Right.
like a protein.
Right.
So, and my favorite thing is just griddled tortillas and panela. That's kind of what I eat every day.
So this is a cheese that people need to be familiar with,
Yes.
as well as cotija.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has a
exactly.
wonderful salty brininess too.
We're thinking the same thing.
Yeah, you the same sort of thing. And what sort of challenges both of you are in, in terms of the pandemic? What sort of challenges has that presented to you, and how has To-Go played in that?
Actually, it has played a big role because before the pandemic, probably our To-Go was like 5%. Now it's 18%.
Wow.
So it really played, and it also made us survive
Right.
through the pandemic.
Right.
So.
Definitely, To-Go is so important. What we found during the pandemic is bringing opportunities of more To-Go options, bundling, family meals, all those things, not just the one item.
So whoops, that California Dairy sign does not want to stay up, does it? All right, what are you both going to do with your prize money? Go to Disneyland?
I'm going to have a very nice weekend, birthday weekend this.
Excellent, in Napa Valley. I love it.
I'm a forever student, so I'm going to contribute to my student fund.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you both for being part of
Thank you
this
so much.
competition.
It's an honor.
And congratulations again to both Gina and Mary Grace, and of course to the California Milk Advisory Board and California's dairy families for making all of this possible. So important. It's been an exciting cook-off, lots of speed, and we've discovered new innovative dishes for Cal-Mex cheeses. For more information on both award-winning dishes and to rewatch the broadcast, please visit realcaliforniamilk.com/food service. We're going to take a short break now, and we hope you tune back in for the next California Dairy2Go cook-off in the Innovate to Go category. We will have 2 chefs coming in to show off their talents and compete again for the $5,000 first prize. The live broadcast will start right here on the same CMAB Facebook page at 2:30 Pacific time. This is Leslie Sabraco from the CIA, Copia Kitchens in Napa, California. And on behalf of the California Milk Advisory Board, thank you so much for tuning in, and see you shortly. And congratulations to both of you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Have a glass of milk.
Thank you.
Thank you.